AI is about to get physical. So without further ado, man, let's see what this video is about. We're gonna see this video right now, man.
In 1995, astronomer and planetary scientist Carl Sagan made a disturbing prophecy in his book, The Demon-Haunted World, about the future of the United States, where nearly all of its manufacturing industries had slipped away to other countries, leading to adverse geopolitical and societal outcomes. AI is all around us. AI listens to you. AI sees your face and body. AI knows where you are right now, training the next chatbot. AI can read, AI can write, AI can talk, AI can make a picture of cats playing poker, but AI rarely ever actually moves. In nature, motility is an organism's ability to move independently under its own power. According to fossil records, the earliest evidence of motility on Earth traces back to bacterial flagella in the Precambrian era. The lines between mobile device and robot are starting to blur. A new Cambrian explosion of organisms is dawning. AI's about to get physical. As software becomes agentic, robots become agents. Electric machines are the corporeal sockets for the AI brain. Any machine that can be automated will be automated, maybe even including you. If you solve for autonomy,
So about automated, let me just tell you. So what automation is? Automated mean it's mean that anything that is repeatable can be automated. For example, when you go to work, right? Let's say that you have a job that's really simple. You get what I'm saying? Simple to do. It doesn't you don't need a complex skill, so many skills to do it, so many knowledge. You get what I'm saying? For example, let me take an example so you guys can understand, right? So let's say that when you go to work, all you have to do is get the item, right? Get the product, and then scan it, and then put it in a bin or in a bucket or in a tote or what else in a box. Let's just say in a box, right? Let's just say in a box. You do that for like 8 hours. The same thing. You keep doing it every day, 8 hours a day or 12 hours a day, depending on which shift you work. You get what I'm saying? Depending on the job, right? So look, when you clock in, you go there, and then guess what? You get the item. Boom, you scan it. You put it in the box. Boom, you get the next item. You scan it. Then you put it in the box. Boom, you get the next item. Same thing. I mean, you doing the same thing, right? That mean it can be automated because you repeat the same steps. You get what I'm saying? It can be automated. So guess what? They can come up with an arm, right? The company can, whichever, I don't know, company, the boss, the CEO, whichever, right? They can say, okay, so look, they can build an arm that can do it. The arm, they will program it. You get what I'm saying? The engineers will program it, put it code in it, and build it, etc., etc. So that means they're gonna tell the arm machine, look, if you see an item, grab it, scan it, then you get what I'm saying? If da 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 da, then da 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 da. You get what I'm saying? If you see an item, boom, get it, then scan it, boom, then put it in the box. That's the code, right? If you don't see any items, don't get it. Don't do anything. You know what I'm saying? The way that they're gonna code the arm, right? The hand machine to do the task, and then guess what? Boom, you out. Because look, you will be out of the job because that's something that replaces you. So look, um it's a good thing for the company because look, the the employees, sometimes they be late, sometimes they be calling off, sometimes they just quit out of no notice. You get what I'm saying? Like you just don't see them, right? So, but when you have an arm machine that you build for the company, there is no way the arm will be sick. The arm will not show up to work or quit. The only thing that the machine we might have is some technical problem, some technical issue. You know what I'm saying? But we can just call a technician or mechanic to come fix it, and then boom, that's what. Guess what? It works back again. It works again, and then boom. You know what I'm saying? And then that machine can work 24/7, 24 hours a day, which is totally different from an employee, a human employee, right? To work 24/7, to work 24 hours a day. And then guess what? With the machine, when you have the machine in the company, you don't have to give the machine pay time off. You don't have to give it vacation time. You don't have to do none of that. You get what I'm saying? All you have to do is just boop, plug it in the electricity, and then boom, it works. And then that's it, bro. That's what they mean by automation. It's something that's repeatable. Keep doing the same thing, the same step.
Autonomy for cars, you solve autonomy for everything. A humanoid robot is just one of thousands of form factors of embodied AI. A broad definition, any machine that collects photons, perceives the world around it, learns, navigates, or manipulates three-dimensional space. Embodied AI and national security are inextricably linked through dual purpose. Embodied AI lends itself to natural monopolies and utility networks across decatrillion-dollar TAMs, or total addressable markets.
Hello, my name is Adam Ferrari, the Chief Executive Officer of Phoenix Energy. I look forward to you joining us.
It's December 31st, 1879. Thomas Edison makes the first public demonstration of his incandescent light bulb. The incredulous crowd laughs and asks, how could people buy light bulbs if they can't afford electricity? Edison responds, we will make electricity so cheap that only the rich burn candles. This is Fifth Avenue, New York City, Easter Sunday, 1900. Spot the car. Here. This is the same street in 1913. Spot the horse. Here. Between 1485.
That statement, why the reason why they stop, I was trying to understand that statement. We're gonna make electricity so cheap that only the rich will burn candles, something like that. I'm not pretty sure if that's what it is. It doesn't really make sense because look, if it's so cheap, why would the rich just buy a candle? They can just afford a ton of it, like 10 million ton of it. You get what I'm saying? Some million. You get what I'm saying? They can afford it more, or like 20 times more than the average person. You get what I'm saying? Or than the poor people, like 30 times more than the poor people. So why would they rather use candles if they can afford, and if they already rich, so they can afford anything instead of afford electricity? Why would they do that? They would rather just pay electricity instead of using candles.
In 1490, an Italian polymath of the High Renaissance made some sketches in its Codex Atlanticus of some fantastical machines. Over 400 years later, in 1903, two brothers from Dayton, Ohio, achieved first flight over the sand dunes of Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. By 1914, we have the first commercial airline flights between St. Petersburg and Tampa. Fast forward to 1967, the Boeing 737 is introduced into service. Nearly 60 years later, we have a plane so similar in design, they didn't even bother changing the name. From this to this is innovation. Da Vinci would be impressed. But from this to this,
I agree. From that to this one, yep, It is an illusion. It's evolution.
This, I think Leo and the Wright brothers would be super disappointed. Let's draw a simple two-axis chart together. In the y-axis, we have the knowledge economy, the economy of bits and bytes. In the x-axis, we have the physical economy, the economy of atoms and photons. AI is well on its way to consuming the knowledge economy, moving rapidly up the y-axis, disrupting occupations such as writing, accounting, tax, legal, CRM, and equity research analysts. But what happens when all the digital data is captured and trained? When everyone has the same compute? How will the LLMs differentiate themselves? We'll need to move to the right into the physical economy. But even with unlimited quantum compute, you can't train a vision language actuation model without vision data. The race for photons has begun. But first, let's talk about fat tuna. Imagine you're on a remote island looking out to sea. 3 miles offshore is a plump, 600-pound bluefin tuna hunting for squid. You have no boat and no fishing tackle. How much is that uncatchable tuna worth to you? 0. Now imagine you have a boat, fishing tackle, and the latest generation fish finder. What's that tuna worth now? In 2019, a 612-pound bluefin tuna fetched $3.1 million in a Tokyo auction. Now let's turn to vision data. What's the world's visual data worth if you have no way of collecting it? 0. Now imagine you have the ability to collect and process yottaflops and yottaflops of data. What's that data worth now? More than 0?
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first.
Is that your car?
Biology is hyper-efficient. The world is full of creatures doing the greatest amount of work using the least amount of energy, subject to its environmental constraints. Take the example of the humble Drosophila. Just look at that punum. Now, these creatures are really, really good at navigating and orienting in flight. Are fruit flies super intelligent? Well, the fruit fly's brain is the size of a poppy seed. So compared to a sponge, which has no brain, the fruit fly is highly intelligent. Now, I'm no insectologist, but poppy seed brain beats no brain every time. Scientists think the secret to the Drosophila's aeronautic abilities has something to do with these things. 2 enormous compound eyes that are bigger than its entire head, each featuring around 400 hexagonal ommatidia. These insect lenses act as tiny computers. Light comes into the lens, which does a calculation, pre-processing the data before entering its brain. Again, folks, we're talking poppy seed brain, not sesame seed. Lenses are amazing computers that don't use any of the fly's energy, and they don't make mistakes. Hardware like this is the compounding product of Darwinian forces of biological survival, mutation, and procreation over hundreds of millions of years. But Tesla and Google don't have hundreds of millions of years to solve autonomy. They need tools that can simulate billions or septillions of years in just a few days to get those Darwinian forces moving a little bit faster. An NBA point guard steps up to the free throw line for a foul shot. He takes 3 dribbles and closes his eyes, imagining the perfect path of the ball right into the hoop. Swish. That shot never happened. It's all in his mind. When a US Open champion imagines a perfect serve, it didn't happen. A Premier League star imagining a penalty kick, it didn't physically happen. But when a robot dreams in simulation, it does so in a hyper-realistic digital twin complete with physics engines to replicate the laws of motion, thermodynamics, fluid dynamics, and the behavior of light, as if it actually happened. As the robots collect more data, the sim-to-real gap continually narrows. When you're driving a Tesla, you're not just driving in physical space, you're also playing a video game, feeding data into the simulated world to train Tesla's latest FSD model. When you wear Meta glasses, you are teaching the robot model how to play piano, knit a sweater, pour coffee, or take out the garbage. Think of a timeline of the history of the modern internet from 1995 to 2025.
I think the thing, what he means by when you put the glasses and he's teaching the robot how to play the piano, I think it's because the software and that also collect the data on how to do it, and then it can teach the robot how to do it easy. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, it collect all the data.
Over this 30-year span, what's the most valuable contiguous 5 minutes of data if you're training a large language model? Well, the last 5 minutes of data, only surpassed by the next 5 minutes of data. The power of recency is critical for the predictive capabilities of inference and reinforcement learning. Take this rather simple, if not esoteric, example from my office at Morgan Stanley's headquarters in Midtown Manhattan. If I throw this pink highlighter in the direction of this Ferrari 458 Italia on the coffee table and freeze time just after the highlighter leaves my hand, you will have a very good sense of the trajectory and speed of the highlighter's flight and the sound it makes as it enters the car. You didn't have to travel through time to know that. Your prediction benefits from your experience, you've seen it before, and the context, you're seeing it now. Historic data is important, but those who have the best arising, real-time data have a major advantage. Industrial companies are TAM-rich and tech-poor. Tech companies are tech-rich and TAM-poor. If you're a $4 trillion market cap company, you're not going to become a $10 trillion company by going after a $50 billion TAM. You got to target that $5 trillion TAM, that $50 trillion TAM. That's not going to happen by getting people to spend one more hour of the day on a smart device. You need to go after the physical markets and grind out those atoms. If there was ever a TAM opportunity that could exceed the size of the global economy, embodied AI is the one. Have any of you ridden in a Waymo? They're all over San Francisco, Los Angeles, Phoenix. They just launched in Austin and will soon be running around Atlanta, Miami, and Tokyo. Our internet team forecasts Waymo's fleet to grow from just over 1,500 units today to 23,000 by 2030. Now, why would the world's largest tech search engine company want to get into the autonomous car business? Because the tech is really good, it's getting better all the time, and maybe because they want to spread their bets beyond the core search business. You may soon look back in astonishment that you ever got into a rideshare vehicle with a human driver.
I'm done spending an obscene amount of money on takeout every week. Done.
I'm getting back on track with Factor.
Fresh, never frozen.
Meta is building some serious capability in AI foundation models, simulation, and metaverse. But it's Meta's efforts in Reality Labs that could really open up entirely new TAMs and transform the company. What if you had two ultra-high definition cameras embedded in a device that you could wear on your face? Imagine those cameras capturing precious real-world data of all the things you do with your hands. Now imagine 20 million of these things in operation within 2 years, nearly 2 times the number of Tesla vehicles on the road. Every Meta Glasses user is training a humanoid avatar iterated in simulation across billions of scenarios in a digital omniverse. The glasses may be stylish, but your face is a battleground. It's no secret Amazon is a major force in AI, but its vertically integrated physical infrastructure uniquely positions the company for pushing the boundaries of robotics. In 2017, Amazon had 5 human workers per robot. In 2024, we estimate Amazon had around 2 human workers per robot. Amazon's highly automated fulfillment center in Shreveport, Louisiana, is being transformed through robotics. Our internet team sees potential for $10 billion of annual savings from robotics and automation. At that scale, Amazon can...
Exactly right. So see what I was saying earlier. See, $10 billion in saving, right? Because guess what? They don't have to pay employees. They don't have to pay their. I think they have to match when you hire an employee. I don't know. Some company might do it. Some company might don't do it. Like match with their 401k. You get what I'm saying? health insurance, and a bunch of stuff. You get what I'm saying? And some companies help student pay, you get what I'm saying, like their college or their school or whichever program they want to get into. They some companies do that, so company won't have to do that because the AI, like the robot, won't go to school. Like, you get what I'm saying, is a machine. So they don't have to give you pay time off. They don't got to give you bonus. They don't have to pay holidays. You get what I'm saying? They don't have to pay holidays. The robots are not gonna get paid for holidays. So guess what? Saving for the company. That's it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Saving for the company. What else? They don't have to give out I don't know, some companies give their employees stuff, you get what I'm saying, for Christmas, you know what I'm saying, for New Year. They don't have to do all that. What the robot's gonna do with gift? Nothing. The robot won't do anything with gifts. So it's gonna save the company money.
Can turn robotics into its own business. AWS started out as an internal efficiency measure before it became nearly 60% of Amazon's operating income. Could we see Amazon bot services in the next few years? Apple may have paused their autonomous car project, but once CarPlay gets access to the video data from inside and outside of the vehicle, then things could get very interesting in Cupertino. The skills transferability for Apple into embodied AI is pretty obvious, but we'll list them anyway. Software, hardware, compute, battery, sensor, infrastructure, supply chain. The car of the future is essentially a giant iPhone wrapped around your body like an immersive IMAX screen covered in carbon fiber reinforced plastic attached to an electronic skateboard driven by a supercomputer. Apple doesn't want to make a car. They want to turn your car into a mobile Apple store. We're often asked, what is Tesla's secret sauce? What's their moat? Well, it's not really one thing, but the combination of 6 attributes that set Tesla apart from its peers. Let's look at each of them. Data. 7 million cars on the road today, over 100 million by 2040. Robotics. In-house electric motors and actuators. Just the hands of the Optimus have 22 degrees of freedom. Energy. Leading battery storage solutions at scale. AI. A world-class AI team developing FSD, Dojo, and custom silicon. Manufacturing, the most vertically integrated U.S. local-sourced auto company in the world. Space, redundant, resilient, cyber-secure comms. SpaceX is the transport layer, the connective tissue of the AI ecosystem. So, out of Tesla's dreams, what does Elon Musk think is the single most critical component of the company's moat? Without any doubt, manufacturing. You need to make the probes to collect the data to improve the probes to collect more data to improve the probes. You get the idea here. Data defines the software, software defines the hardware, hardware defines the manufacturing. Elon Musk has used the car industry as a laboratory to develop competency in other areas. The car is to Tesla what the book was to Amazon. There are 1.2 billion cars on Earth, traveling around 12 trillion miles per year. That's 2 light years annually, roughly the distance between the Earth and the Sun 130,000 times. With an average occupancy of 1.5 passengers per car and 25 miles an hour, that's 720 billion hours of passenger time, or 82 million years. Humans spend 82 million years of time inside cars every year. 82 million years ago was the late Cretaceous period at the end of the Mesozoic era, the height of the dinosaurs. The Earth looked like this. Bees were pollinating the first flowering plants at the end of the Mesozoic era. Bees. Now, what's the value of an hour of your time? Well, that depends who you ask, but 720 billion hours times anything is a very large number. Then there's safety. With traffic fatalities still on the rise, it seems we're getting dumber faster than the cars are getting smarter. For those of you with a manual transmission, steering wheel having hoopty in the garage, don't sell it. These babies will be cherished by collectors as artisanal classics from an era when humans made the machines and operated the machines. And we still get asked why Ferrari trades at 50 times PE.
Watch what eggs do to your brain. Take a look at these two brain scans. They both...
The next time you're flying in an airplane on a clear day, take a look down at the Earth. Notice all the roads, the parking lots. See how much of our planet's surface area is devoted to vehicle transport. If AI can drive thousands of times safer than humans in 2 dimensions in the pedestrian-filled chaos of our cities, navigating in 3 dimensions is a walk in the park. Now consider what AI can do for our antiquated air traffic control systems. We estimate the low-altitude economy can eventually surpass the size of the...
So look, let me know in the comment, would you guys feel safe if you get an airplane or a helicopter, there's like no human, you get what I'm saying, that controlling the helicopter, just maybe the airplane controlling itself or the helicopter controlling itself, you know what I'm saying? Would you guys go or would you guys would not go? Just leave your answers in the comment. I'll go through them. I'd like to know what you guys think about that.
The global car market. On our calculations, one eVTOL can generate as much revenue as 10 to 15 Ubers. Advances in e-motors, energy storage, material science, communications, and compute will make flying cars ubiquitous and take some of the stress off the surface of our planet. No, not that AWS, this one. Elon Musk recently posted that China makes more drones in a day than the United States makes in a year, and that all future wars will be fought with drones. Let that sink in. With conventional technology, it takes 5 people to operate one $30 million drone. With AI, one person can operate 100 drones. Redundant, resilient, if necessary, attritable, working as a team in an autonomous swarm. Asymmetric capability that may call into question the very nature of defense budgets around the world. When Elijah Otis invented the safety elevator in Yonkers, New York in 1852, the venture capitalists of his time may have struggled to imagine how elevators would change architecture forever. This is New York City before the elevator. This is New York City after the elevator. We think of a reusable rocket as an elevator to space. SpaceX has reduced launch cost 10x while increasing payload capacity 10x, while increasing satellite bandwidth 100x. That's a 10,000x improvement in cost per gigabyte of saleable capacity in orbit. SpaceX is creating an all-new internet that provides downlink connectivity to everything. Every car, every plane, every drone, every ship, every home, every business, every phone. On our model, SpaceX grew revenue by 60% in 2024 to $14 billion, reaching $66 billion by 2030 on our estimates. The company's latest tender offer valued SpaceX at approximately $350 billion, according to PitchBook, making it the most valuable private company in the world. On October 4th, 1957, shortly after 7:28 p.m. Eastern Time, the U.S. Army Signal Corps in New Jersey detected an unusual beep-beep signal at 20 and 40 megahertz. The Sputnik moment meant the Soviets beat the United States in putting a satellite into orbit, creating great anxiety in the Pentagon. In May of 1961, President John F. Kennedy announced the goal of putting a man on the moon and bringing him safely back to Earth by the end of the decade. And in that moment, countless 8-year-olds in the U.S. wanted to become astronauts, and U.S. math and science proficiency skyrocketed. National security is a powerful innovation catalyst. Competition with China is reawakening the Apollo spirit and catalyzing policy and public support for the next era of innovation in the fields of AI, cyber, space, robotics, and quantum. The United States didn't put men on the moon just to collect rocks and do donuts in a lunar rover. They did it because if we didn't do it, someone else would have. A tiger cub learns by watching its mother hunt. A human-shaped robot learns by watching you drink coffee, flip a hamburger, hit a forehand, or miss a 3-foot putt. Why humanoids? Because the world was made for humans by humans, and there are over 8 billion of us to watch and imitate. First adoption, starting now, with the most boring, repetitive, dangerous tasks and environments where you can control for temperature, weather, light, humidity, and where humans are in predictable areas. A manufacturing line, fulfillment center, kitchen, a lithium mine. The TAM, there are nearly 4 billion people in the global workforce with an average annual wage of $10,000. That's a global labor market of $40 trillion. One humanoid leased at $5 an hour can replace 2 human workers making $25 an hour, supporting a net present value of approximately $200,000 per humanoid. The U.S. labor market has 160 million people. Every 1% substitution by a humanoid is worth over $300 billion, or around $100 per Tesla share.
Did you know that you can have permanent teeth in just 24 hours? That's right, only 24 hours and your new smile is ready. Forget waiting.
So how can our clients express a view on the embodied AI theme? Morgan Stanley presents the Humanoid 100, a global mapping of equities across a range of sectors and regions that may have an important role in bringing robots from the lab to your living room. We divide the robot into the brain, body, and integrators, semis, sensors, batteries, actuators, encoders, harmonic reducers, screws, bearings, connectors, magnets, rare earths, and many more. This is manufacturing as a percentage of US GDP since World War II. Just look at this chart. It's not just the magnitude of the decline from nearly 30% to 10%, but the persistent, uninterrupted linearity of the decline, decade after decade, for 80 years. How much further was this going to continue before we realized that it may have gone a little too far? Morgan Stanley is making a strategic commitment to telling the story of embodied AI, leveraging our platform and relationships to help our clients identify the next crop of multi-generational compounders, transforming industries and creating new markets we believe can exceed the size of today's global GDP. The intersection of AI and the physical economy offers the chance to disprove Carl Sagan's 1995 prophecy. History books will be written about this time and the next 5 or 10 years. The impacts across markets and geopolitics are likely to be profound and far-reaching. The Morgan Stanley research team is here for you as we navigate these consequential times. We are grateful for your partnership and thankful for your business. Stay human.
That's it, man. This was a good video, man. Very informative, educational. You know what I'm saying? I bet most of us learned something new today. So yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment below. So, yeah, share your thoughts, your opinion, your ideas, whichever your stories, and share with your friend and family, man. Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe with the channel. And see you in the next video, man. Stay blessed and be safe. Bye.